Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Cam Ward and today I wanted to give you my updated thoughts on the Sony A7S Mark II. Now I'm making this video because it's been almost a year since I bought the A7S and I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's an amazing camera, however it has got a load of problems which I do want to address in this video. Let me just start by saying I've used this camera on a whole load of different shoots, whether it be music videos, live events, weddings, short films. It's an exceptional camera and I don't think there's any other better camera out there for the price and the size of the camera as well. As I mentioned, I have used this camera a lot. Now I've used it in very extreme weather circumstances such as like cold and rain, and I've also used it in very hot countries such as like Dubai. The temperature was about 100 degrees and the camera overheated and I couldn't use it whilst it cooled down. The camera cooled down after about 2 or 3 minutes, but it wasn't the end of the world, so I wouldn't worry about overheating being an issue. And I've never had that issue before. Recently I've been shooting a lot more in 4K and I have found that the battery life is actually okay on the camera. I have been noticing that the battery life has been draining a lot quicker when I start plugging in a monitor and a microphone into the camera as well. On the flip side, the focus peaking is amazing. I mentioned that in my other review as well. It's so great to have it in a camera like this. And in comparison to Canon cameras, I've not seen any other Canon camera with it, a DSLR that is anyway. Now with the announcement of the Canon 5D Mark IV, I don't actually think the specs are that great in it, especially for videographers. A feature which I recently found on the Sony A7S was the digital zoom option. It's called clear zoom or something, and basically it allows you to zoom in on kind of any object or something. It doesn't matter what lens you're using, but it's great. It allows you to get a little bit more out of your lenses, and I don't think I've seen any other camera with a feature like that. Now, whilst we're talking about batteries, I do have to say that I've charged 2 Canon 6D batteries to full in the same time it's taken to charge 1 Sony battery. I'm not sure why that happens because the Sony batteries are smaller than the 6D batteries, but it is something worth noting and it is very odd. I did find, however, though, that charging from an external USB source, like the one mentioned in my travel tech video, you can check that out below, it does charge the batteries quicker and you can charge 2 at the same time. Body's not big enough. I think it should be bigger to allow for bigger batteries and also a dual SD card slot. Having 2 SD cards is great and it allows you to kind of have that backup and safety, which you kind of should expect from like pro-end cameras like this. As well, it'd be great if they could build in some kind of filter which stops dirt from getting on the sensor when you're not using it. This is one of my major issues with mirrorless cameras, and this is why I don't recommend them really to photographers really. I do think there's so many great cameras out there for photography, but I just don't think mirrorless is a great option for that. I'm always cleaning the sensor. I've got like a little pipette thing which I always use to kind of blow dirt off it. It's very frustrating, and I have done a video about this issue. I'll leave it in the notes below. Now the actual user interface and software is very slow, quite clunky and a bit messy. The digital zoom option, I've only just found that. Obviously I could have read the instruction manual, but no one does that. Another issue is formatting the card takes about 40 seconds. If you do it on like a 60 or something, it takes about 10 seconds. Little things like that are a bit annoying. Boot up time on the camera is quite slow compared to other cameras. When using a smaller camera like this with smaller batteries, you do have to turn it off really in between shots to kind of save that battery life. But I normally get through a shoot, maybe a 5-hour shoot on 2 batteries, so that's not too bad. Another thing that's really slow about the camera is the Time-Lapse app. Now not only is this Sony's own Time-Lapse app, which you have to pay an extra £10 for in the UK, it's also just incredibly slow. It's really frustrating when stuff is slow on the camera and like, you know, just stopping a time-lapse can just lag and take a while. Now if you are a photographer and you're watching this video thinking about picking up the A7S, I would say stick with the Canon lineup. I don't know much about Nikon, but I do know Canon's cameras are very reliable, and potentially just pick up a Canon 6D for about £1,500 less. Most of the time if a photographer asks me about the A7S, I'll tell them they shouldn't pick it up unless they're going to use Sony lenses. This is because the Metabones adapter with Canon glass on the Sony, the focus is very slow and pretty much unusable. I never use it, I always shoot in manual focus anyway. Now on the next camera, on the next iteration of this camera, which will inevitably come out, I do think they should have a bigger body with bigger batteries, dual memory card slot, clean up the interface, make it much quicker, much snappier, make it easier for people to work with it. Build the time-lapse app in there because come on, it's an extra £10 and it's really slow. It'd be so great if you could just make a flip out screen, full flip out screen like the 600D and the 70D cameras. I think that would really just put it ahead of the competition as well. And basically I'm making my perfect camera because right now it's excellent, it's so good, the image quality is great. The fact that S-Log profiles are included is fantastic. I mean, you can pick up the Canon 5D Mark IV for £3,500 and that does not have the Cine profile, the C-Log profile, which the high-end cameras have. Now I understand why they do that, but it's fantastic that Sony include this on their cameras. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the Sony A7S Mark II. I don't think I've missed anything, but if you do have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. I would 100% recommend you pick up this camera if you're thinking about it and you have the money. If you're interested in seeing some of the Sony A7S Mark II footage which I've shot, check out some of the videos on my channel. 98% of it is shot on the A7S Mark II. And thank you very much for watching. I do weekly vlogs so you can see what I'm up to, what we're shooting each week. So yeah, subscribe for that and hit like. Any questions, leave me a comment. My name is Cam Ward and I will see you in the next one.